Have you ever faced burnout in your content creation career? Because shockingly, Max Rhymes has not faced burnout at all. Having an understanding that this is a long-term journey, as well as being able to switch up the content that he creates to make sure that he is passionate about what he's creating and that his audience loves it, Max Rhymes is absolutely killing it and continues to level up his career. Let's go ahead and take a listen to his story.
You know, I'm really focusing on my short form. Like live is just like, you know, something that I use to connect with my audience directly, but like short form has really been like expanding and growing my business. And actually I have a specific like schedule. So like Mondays I do motivational stuff, Tuesdays and Thursdays I do gaming stuff, and then on Wednesdays I do DJ stuff, and then Friday I kind of like try to do some like, you know, trendy things that take me out of my comfort zone. It's a really fun schedule because it forces me to try different things and do different things throughout the week, which really helps me not get burned out because I'm constantly switching what type of content that I'm making throughout the week. And I've really been focused on building my brand around people just vibing with Max Rhymes for me, regardless of whatever type of content that I put out, whether it's gaming, music, motivational, etc.
What kind of short form content has worked the best for you?
Last year, I created this video of a squirrel with a gun. It's actually a new game that they're working on that they haven't released yet. And that video was like really the first video that went viral for me. And then I created like a whole series of like voiceover squirrel with the gun videos. That's where like I saw a lot of growth on TikTok. I think I gained like 100K followers just from like one or two of those videos. And then after that, like I was, you know, doing my best to like, because that game's not out yet. So it's hard to curate more content for something that's not out. So I use that to transition into my schedule, which I mentioned. But my DJ videos have been doing pretty good on Instagram. It's fun because I get a chance to interact with other DJs who've been commenting on them, and I've been watching their DJ content and in turn learning some things from them too. So like I'm kind of placing myself in a whole nother like bracket of, you know, creativity, and like I'm having so much fun. And also that's really helping me like my mental health, and then burnout too, because you know burnout is real, right? So like me continuing to shift and learn new things constantly, it really helps me stay consistent and just stay focused.
How did you get into streaming and content creation? You're a guy who's created so many opportunities for yourself.
My ability to prove to others that like you can literally, you know, achieve any goal that you want through doing what you love. Like I just want to be proof of that. Like I want to lead by example. I want to show that regardless of where you're at in life, you can literally just figure out what you want to do, lean in, and like overcome all those obstacles. So for me, like the turning point was like when I was getting feedback from like my viewers, like, hey Max, your content is so positive, it's so much fun, it's so entertaining. That's what like really let me know that I have something and to keep going. I'm 5 years in, I have a 10-year plan, and like I feel like I'm crushing all those goals. You know, I still have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of things that I need to accomplish still, but like I feel like I'm definitely going on the right track, and I'm really excited about it.
What kind of changed after the 6 months for you?
So what happened is one of my viewers was like, hey Max, I got my daughter right here, would you mind, you know, doing like a freestyle rap for, you know, for her because she really loves your content, you know? And then I was like, hey, well, let me, you know, give me some things that your daughter likes that I can use to, you know, to rap about, to make sure that it's, you know, something fun for her. So she gave me the topic of dinosaurs, right? So I said like this rhyme, which is how my name came about, actually, Max Rhymes, rhyming on stream. But I said this rhyme about dinosaurs, man. She loved it so much. The next day, she asked her dad, like, hey dad, can I record like a little thank you video and send it to Max? So her dad recorded the thank you video and she sent it to me. Man, that warmed my heart that she was so happy that I was able to, you know, make a rap for her that sounded so fun. And like that just warmed my heart. Like that let me knew right then that I had what it takes to be successful in this industry. That one moment, 6 months in.
So then what did kind of the next couple years for you look like? In
that time frame, I made, you know, some sacrifices to get myself out to an event, which was my first event, which was PAX East, right before COVID started. And I was out there in Boston. I got a chance to meet the Facebook gaming team at that time. I only had about 7,000 followers at that time. So what happened was, you know, after that event, I was just so fired up. I was so motivated. And then I just kept grinding. And then I want to say about a year later from that event, I came home and I saw the apply for partner thing on my dashboard on Facebook. So I applied for that and got partnered. I was actually part of the last wave of partners before they came out with the criteria on how to get partnered. And then, right, this is crazy. The come up was crazy from right here. So I got partnered. And then 30 days later, I got picked up for the BGCP program with Facebook Gaming, which was crazy. So then I, you know, achieved another level of partnership with Facebook Gaming. And then right after that, I won the Pipeline Coursera partnership with you guys, which was super crazy. Later on in that year, Facebook Gaming reached out to me to be a part of the #PlayLoud event, which you were a part of that in LA, which was awesome. Yeah. And then my career just kept going up from there, man. I started meeting and networking with all these different people. I just continue to create, you know, amazing content. So when I meet people and they follow me, they look at my stuff, they're said like, oh, Max is like the real deal. Like, let's go. So I had the consistency piece to go along with the networking, and it's just been up from there, man.
I feel like a lot of people don't see that beginning part where you spend the years working towards it and then even get to an event or whatever it is. I guess for you, what was like the continued motivation, the drive?
The journey for me is a little bit different because I started with the mindset of how long it was going to take to start building success. And what I mean by that is, for example, I personally did not know who Ninja was until he had already been creating content for 9 full years. So I'm like, okay, so if Ninja, one of the most popular creators in the whole world, if I didn't know who he was until he had already been in the game for 9 years, like who am I to make me any different, right? So I'm like, all right, let's make a 10-year plan. Let's put the time in, let's put the work in and keep growing. And honestly, I've never been burned out. And the reason why I've never been burned out is because this is my legacy. Like there's no plan B for me. Like there's no, if this doesn't work, like no, like I'm putting in the time, I'm taking the necessary steps, and this is it for me. The motivation has just been, I already knew it was going to take a long time going. I mean, even you, like you lead by example all the time. You've been in this industry for a lot, I think over 10 years, right? Like 12, 13 years.
12 years.
Yeah, right. And you've been doing it. So like I saw that and I'm like, man, it takes time. And I think I've shaved off a lot of time on success though, because of just my like hungriness of being consistent. And then when I meet these people and then they see my consistency, like that's what levels up my career. I might not have 1 million viewers, but like my community is solid and my brand is solid and I understand who I am.
For you, what is kind of the future for you look like? You mentioned a lot of different directions you want to go in terms of larger plans. Like, what do you feel like is the main thing?
So I feel like the main thing for me is just being consistent. I feel like I have a lot of self-confidence, and I feel like at this point in my career, it's only a matter of time, you know, and I try not to wait on opportunities to, you know, be presented to me. I try to go out and get them myself. So really over the next 6 months, I just want to continue to transform my career by, you know, being consistent with diversifying my style of content as well as the platforms that I'm on, you know, continue to connect with these brands and let them know that I'm unique and I have something that I can bring to the table that others can't. That's pretty much where I'm at. I mean, where I'm at also is like the dream is the process. Like I'm a stay-home dad, full-time content creator. Like that's the dream. Everything else is secondary to that. With that being said, you know, it's like once you get somewhere, like once you get to a level of success, you want to keep that. So I'm really focusing on keeping that and continuing to build my network. You know, I got some things in the works that I'm really, really excited about, but you know, the biggest thing is just being consistent, man. Like even when you lose motivation, you know, consistency brings that back. So that's what makes it real easy for me to just keep going. But there's no doubt in my mind that I'm going to continue to have a positive influence on the world.
You've been through a whole lot of different educational processes, a lot of stuff even with Pipeline. And it's like, what would be your kind of key lesson or takeaway for anybody who is considering getting into it or maybe started out or even been at it for a year or so?
If you're passionate about creating content and it's something that you really want to do, I just feel like you really need to like lean in and figure out what your gift is. And what I mean by that is I feel like whatever you're the best at with the least amount of effort, you need to implement and apply that and curate that into your content in some way. So for instance, not all content creators are good at gaming, but you're entertaining at it, which is why you do it. So you entertain, but like what's that other thing that you do? You know what I'm saying? That's super simple. Can you play the piano? Can you sing? Can you rap? Like if you apply those things into your brand, I promise you it'll take you to the next level. That's something that I wish I knew when I first started.
If you guys enjoyed this episode of Becoming Creator Podcast, be sure to follow Max Rhymes as well as our host and our producer. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.